What's going on, Legionnaires? Welcome to a very special episode of the Legion of Comic Correction, where we talk all things Batman.
Yeah.
The Batman came out last week. It is today, well, when we're releasing this, is Wednesday, March 9th. We are discussing a spoiler-filled review of the latest installment of our live-action Batman movies, The Batman.
Oh, I'm just waving to my fans. Waving to all of those out there who recognize the supremacy, the authority of the greatest superhero of all time.
He's up there.
The Batman.
He's really cool.
He's the best. He's the best there is.
All right, if you guys are new, don't forget to like and subscribe so that you can get all of our latest episodes, know when they're coming out, and know when we put out new content.
Especially for something like this. You gotta be on the front lines. You gotta get it
first.
Right.
That's right. Get
the
it.
trenches. Speaking of getting it first.
We have, we have been doing a whole run of Batman episodes, so they're all down in the description, but getting it first is also our Patreon, which is in the description.
You get it before anybody else.
That's right. Early access to our videos, depending on the tier you get, along with behind-the-scenes photos.
This stuff. Gotta get it hot off the presses.
Yeah, and polls, things to vote on and stuff like that. And a lot of that goes into our website, which is also down there, legionofcc.com, where you'll find sweet merch like this, sweet merch like that, and...
Side blades.
No, we don't sell side blades, but maybe someday.
You know, you got that merch on. You know, I'm not only wearing Batman here, but my little mini-me is wearing Batman there.
That's right. Little zombie Logan is wearing Batman.
It's because if I go down in a zombie apocalypse, I'm definitely wearing Batman when I go down.
If you
100%.
If you go down, you're not wearing Batman. You'll crawl your way back into your house to put on Batman.
Yeah.
Before you've lost all your faculties.
Yeah, 100%.
New merch is on the store now. Some of it is stuff that our Patreons have voted on.
Get it.
Including some new iPhone and Android phone cases, and some new hats, and some new shirts, and actually some sweatpants. So go take a look.
We finally got those pants.
That's
right. You're going to have Legion on Legion on Legion.
Yeah,
Put it on your pants.
And
put it on your shirt. Put it on your head. Put it on your phone.
And your feet. Your feet, man, you could literally.
What do we have with our feet?
Your shoes. You
own them. You are the only person.
I think you're the only one who's bought them, but they're really cool.
Limited edition.
That's true. For now.
Small run.
Limited edition, because Logan's the only one that would wear them ever.
Yeah.
I would rock them all the time.
We're doing.
Do you know I don't wear those? Do you know I don't wear them?
You don't want to
because I don't want anything to happen to them. I literally am like, did it rain outside? Like, is there am I going to be doing anything?
Just buy a second pair and put them in like a glass box.
Oh yeah, well that's true. I could do that, I could just respect them.
Greg.
All right, well, we are doing a classic review, so we're going to go through some numbers together, a Carnage report, and then our review of the movie itself, and then our verdict on whether it's a correction, a perfection, or just what it is, because it's been a long time since the new Batman movie came out.
I think we all know what
the people listening might not. They want to know.
I think we all know what
Don't give it away.
I'm not going to say it, but I mean.
Okay. All right, Carnage report time. All right, so obviously this is weird because it's still in the theaters. In fact,
fresh.
It is real fresh. But when we're filming this, it is Saturday night of opening weekend.
That's right.
So not a lot of
numbers
numbers have
already seen it.
Yeah, it's doing great.
We chose a very rough time to go watch it, but it was worth it.
That's what happens when you let the youngest person do all the money.
The young buck went ahead and said, full send, IMAX, 11 p.m., 3-hour movie. You wake up the next day because I'm calling out early.
Yeah, we couldn't. So we
couldn't do that.
Into work.
Oh, whose fault is that?
I got home just about to fall asleep, and you know what else was hard about that? My oldest daughter walks into the room with a nightmare. I'm about to fall asleep. These are the obstacles I got to deal with.
I have no children, but I also had a difficult time sleeping because I don't know, I couldn't get comfy. All right, so
I didn't even sleep that much because I got called into work.
You understand how that
regular
sounded?
stuff. Yeah, well,
I couldn't sleep. It wasn't like that, but I just couldn't.
I'm only speaking from my own experiences. All right. As of right now, they've already made over $57 million.
I just turned my headphones on now.
Well done.
$57 million in the domestic box office.
$57 million.
Listen to this, with a very close to around $50 million in worldwide as well.
It's already made almost as much as Batman and Robin.
No, right? It's already made over it. It's 50 and no, 57 is the exact same.
Domestically.
Yeah. Domestically. Yeah. It made the same amount in these 3 days as the domestic opening of Batman and Robin the entire time. The entire domestic gross for Batman and Robin was made by this film in these 2 days so far.
Right now, it is on track to make about $120 million or to $130 million just in the opening weekend. So this is looking good, and the numbers keep going up. So we'll keep an eye on that. Yeah.
It is good.
Yeah, it was for sure. I loved it. All right. I mean, we don't know. Wait till our verdict. Maybe I did.
You just gave me a whole lecture on telling me to wait on the verdict. And then you were like, you're just like, I loved it.
Well, I guess love is a loose
now you're trying to pull it back.
Could be like it is what it is.
Yeah, no, you're not. Keep it going.
All right, director Matt Reeves brings us The Batman, the latest installment of The Batman. This is the first.
Little thumbs up. Very nice.
This is the first Batman solo film since The Dark Knight Rises. So it's been a long time since we've seen the Batman come out and take a whole movie to himself. And
because they were supposed to. And
Ben Affleck was supposed to have his.
Batfleck never got his chance.
He never did, but that's
never got his chance.
Rip.
That's okay.
It's not okay.
It's not okay.
He deserved better.
He deserved better. Deserved a lot better across the board.
Yeah.
I mean, his
true.
portrayal.
I liked his portrayal.
In Batman v Superman.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, the warehouse scene.
Just the warehouse scene. Let's just talk about that. That man ripped people apart, threw them onto their heads, snapping every body part. He killed people. He killed people. He outright. That was a killing Batman. Yeah.
All right.
No joke about it. No killing joke about it. That was a killing Batman.
Robertman, Battinson.
Oh, dang it. That was the wrong one.
Thank you.
My bad.
Thank you.
I don't think I've given you a solid, straight up. Nope. Yep.
Not in a minute.
Well, Robertman Battinson didn't kill anybody in this movie.
No, he did not.
And he even stated that he doesn't kill. There's a rule he doesn't go.
Mm-hmm.
It's your rule.
Don't that's your thing.
That's your thing, man. All right, so we have a killer cast coming in here. A lot of really
very strong cast.
Some risky casting that really panned out.
Seemingly, that definitely played well.
And
you could see the potential
for
all of this casting. It wasn't it wasn't risky in the sense that it was other than Battinson was definitely risky, but all of the others, you could see the potential for them. People were worried, and myself included. I will be the first to say that sparkle, glitter vampire as Batman was a very big concern to me.
Well, and honestly, I haven't seen Zoe Kravitz in a lot, and Catwoman is a tough role to play. It's a big role, so I wasn't sure how she was going to do it.
Big, but it's also not big at the same time.
But she was so good.
She played it.
It's a very supporting actor.
So we've got
but in this movie,
she pulled a lot of weight.
She pulled a lot of time.
I guess
she got a lot of time.
No, she did. She was good.
Yeah. All right. So Robert Pattinson. Robert Pattinson's playing Batman. Zoe Kravitz comes in as Catwoman.
Yep.
Then we have Jeffrey Wright as
Wonderful.
Gordon.
Wonderful.
Not commissioner yet, still a lieutenant, but man, he killed it. He was incredible.
Love him.
Colin Farrell.
One of the best parts of the movie. One of the best parts of the movie.
Colin Farrell as the Penguin or Ozzy.
The best part of the movie.
My goodness. That man.
You were an A on that?
I don't think he's the best.
I thought he was
I think
great.
it's a lot of ties.
He was great.
A lot of ties?
I think it's just that good.
Okay. Right.
Okay, I'll accept it.
We get Andy Serkis coming in.
I'm so happy about this. I'll just take it.
Andy Serkis is probably the least.
Alfred.
Yeah, which is embarrassing. Which he was still good.
He was another person I was a little nervous about. I've never really
Honestly, I wasn't nervous, but
I wasn't nervous.
I was almost disappointed.
I wasn't nervous. Yeah.
It was all right. He
wasn't in it that much. He wasn't in it.
Yeah.
He wasn't in it. Didn't get much. And
it's okay.
I'm going to talk about this.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it.
But he played a Alfred that wasn't even bought in yet, which is I thought a really interesting play. He wasn't even
100% bought into,
not even 100% into bought in what he's doing.
Well, he was too afraid he was still fearing for Bruce's life.
Well, it's his son.
Oh yeah,
sure, 100%. And then Paul Dano,
not according to Batman.
Yeah, you're not my father. What a thing to say.
That was rough. I was like,
jeez.
Stab me in the heart.
You got kids.
I do.
That's an old kick in the bat nuts.
Yeah, but my response will be a little bit different than
I'm going to take my side blades home that weekend.
I'm sorry.
And then Paul Dano as the Riddler coming in, which I'm super excited for him to do that.
You're just like, and Paul Dano. That was amazing.
He was phenomenal.
He was great.
Well, yeah.
That guy is weird. That guy is
He's weird, and that's exactly what the Riddler needs to be.
Exactly.
I've loved him.
Just amazing.
I've loved him. His filmography is just fantastic.
Oh my gosh!
I first saw him in Little Miss Sunshine, which was also very weird. He was mute in that one.
See, I didn't see
very interesting.
Little Miss Sunshine, but There Will Be Blood gives me no doubt he could have played this role perfectly.
Because he was twins in that. He was Paul Sunday and Eli Sunday, and he's just that split personality, that creepy villain. Like, bless you, fantastic. Really good.
I'm still alive.
All right. Source material. So many
solid pieces.
If you go back and you watch our reviews on the other Batman movies,
Returns, Batman and Robin, Batman Forever, any of those, this is different.
Yeah, they really didn't grab a lot. You can tell the directors, maybe they were fans of the idea of Batman.
Batman's a character.
Right. But they really weren't. Like, Matt Reeves he's a big comic book fan.
So much respect.
So the biggest influences to this movie were these comic book runs, and some of them are like some of our favorite Batman comic runs ever.
Top some of them are top tier, and then others are really on the fringes.
Yeah. So I'll start with the more known, and then we'll go to the more obscure.
Yeah.
So the top three, how many? The top three more well-known runs were The Long Halloween, and that he really got his ferocity and just his
right up there as one of my absolute favorites.
It is
my
favorite.
Absolute
me
favorite.
Too. It's my favorite.
I've got a tie.
The movie starts. The movie starts with the first murder happening on Halloween night, which is very reminiscent to The Long Halloween, and then and with all the mob families and Maroni and the Roman and everything.
Yep. Yeah, really, I mean, truthfully, Long Halloween and the way that the mob family becomes really the central villain in that.
Right.
Like, it's not, like, Holiday playing into it is one thing, but, like, the whole storyline revolves around the families, and this pulling from that was really good.
I mean, spoilers. And we'll pause here.
We already said that.
No, I'm talking about the comics.
Spoiler.
Well, Holiday is part of that family. That's the thing. So it's like... It's about the families, but it's also about the families.
Yeah,
so
you're exactly right.
He becomes that because of the family that he was grown up in.
Yeah, I mean, but this one focused primarily, and obviously Falcone. Falcone is the he's the primary mob
in this movie.
Well, not just this movie, but in Long Halloween. In general, in all of it. Yeah, we know that.
And in this movie, Maroni has already kind of been put away.
Maroni we didn't even see in this.
But
they
Maroni,
talk about it.
They made him the big one, which is weird because that's usually the other way around. Like, Maroni's usually always coming after Falcone.
Right.
To try to take his seat, to usurp
him. You're exactly right.
I think it still was, though, because Falcone's the one who put him, because he's competition, put him away.
Yeah, but
they made him sound like he was bigger than he was.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
You're exactly right.
I don't care.
You're exactly right, though. I mean, it doesn't bother me, but
it
was almost
contrary to what normally
Falcone, the way that this all plays out with Falcone, the way that he essentially put himself on top of everything, and the way that he grabbed power in it all,
owns all the cops. And
it made it almost sound like Maroni was like a bug under his foot that he just crushed.
Right. Yeah.
Well, by one rap.
I liked the addition of, and we'll get this into the review, but the addition of the Penguin as one of Roman's
the
guys.
way they played it, and that goes super back to. That almost plays back to, and this is, I wouldn't really call it, Gotham.
The TV show?
Gotham.
For sure.
I wouldn't call it source material on it per se, but I mean,
but
where
Penguin
being a lackey instead of already being an established villain is a really cool way to approach this. And, I'm really glad they took that
avenue.
Route. Angle, avenue, route. All of those would have been words that I could have conduit, sure, whatever.
We got the long electricity over here.
Electricity.
We got the Long Halloween. We've got Dark Victory as well coming into play a bit. We've got
which is the third,
the sequel to.
No, it's the sequel.
The sequel to Long Halloween.
Long Halloween. No, it's
Is it the third? The last one.
Dark Victory is the third. It was Long Halloween. Something else than Dark Victory.
I have them upstairs.
Look it up.
I do too. Not upstairs, but
Long Halloween, Dark Victory. We've also got a little reference to Batman's Zero Year.
Longest Halloween or something like that.
Long Halloween.
No, I know. I know it's Long Halloween.
Oh, the second one.
Yeah.
We'll look it up. Batman's 0 Year also comes into play. That is one that really pushes Alfred as the ex-military, and you can see he has the cane in there, and here in this movie he has the cane. He's got the scar on his eye. 0 Year also centered around the Riddler taking over Gotham and flooding Gotham.
Yep.
So we see a lot of pull there. And then the more obscure, we've got a solo run for Catwoman called Catwoman When in Rome, where she went seeking who her heritage was and found out that it was most likely the Roman. So that's kind of cool. And because in the movie, spoiler, it is the Roman. And then Arkham Asylum, A Serious House on a Serious Earth in 1989 was the first introduction of the Arkham family and the run of how they helped kind of start the city of Gotham. I don't remember if it's that run or another, but there is a run where Martha is an Arkham. Normally, she's Martha Kane, who becomes Martha Wayne. But in a few other
Michael Caine,
she's an Arkham. Never. Yeah, so like you can tell this dude did his research. He deep dove on a lot of areas. He pulled all the great stuff.
Haunted Night.
Oh, Haunted Night.
The second one
is the second one. Now,
Dark here's the third.
Here's the thing, just to be clear. No, because this is also a part of it. The Long Halloween and Haunted Night are often put together in a book.
It's okay.
And so Dark Victory is technically in some worlds, it is
some
the
upside down wrong worlds.
It is the sequel.
It's not.
I'm just letting you know. Haunted Night is often
Which one did I
put
forget?
in Haunted Night.
Haunted Night. Oh, no, Night. Ego.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't even listening to this part. I was in my own world. What were you talking about?
The one that's really, really on the fringes.
Yeah.
Ego. I had to look it up because all I remember was Ego when I was looking into it.
Yeah.
It's called Ego, a psychotic slide into the darkness, the heart of darkness.
Ooh.
That's where they get the most of like how and why Batman is what he is right now.
Oh, cool.
So like, it's like it starts with Batman going into the city after Joker had like one of his killing sprees. So it's just like the one guy that ratted the Batman out to Joker. He goes and finds him, and the dude's about to kill himself, and he like talks him off, not a ledge because he's not using a jumping section. He's using a gun. But anyway, but
he talks him off the ledge.
And then like Batman thinks he saves him, and the dude just blows it off. No! So like the darkness of that and like the depravity that we see in the movie with the drugs and the
what do they call it? The drops?
Drop heads.
Drop heads. Yeah. Oh man, all right. So
drops was the drug. Heads were people taking it.
We want to spend as much time as we can on what we thought of the movie. So we're going to jump out of the Carnage Report and into the Comic Correction review. All right, guys. You guys are the Batman fans. Oof. You guys are the Batman fans. I mean, I love Batman, but you guys love Batman.
Yeah.
And Batman is like your bread and butter. So what do you guys think?
This is the exact film I wanted.
Yeah.
I can't say it I can't speak for Harry, but I will speak for Harry. This is exactly
what I want.
What we wanted. I mean, we know what we're looking for, and this is not everybody. We talked about this last night. Everybody wants to try and compare Batman films to each other. That is always the first thing that people run to. You can't put this in the same lane as any other Batman film.
What about Batman and Robin?
Say it again.
Say it again.
Say it again. Say it again. Say it again. Say it again.
Say it to them, Greg.
Sharpen that.
I don't like the way you're petting your side blades.
Well, it's like a cat. You're okay this way, but if you go this way.
No, you really can't. You can't put them in the same. They're eating their own barrels.
This is the Batman film that we have been waiting for. That we have never gotten.
Right.
We got the world's greatest detective Batman film.
Yeah. Wow. He's the world's greatest detective starting out.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing every person needs to remember. It's
so good,
year 2.
But
year
it's
2.
so good.
Yes.
It
is.
Actually
It's amazing.
Like, that was great.
Getting to see...
He was real good, though.
I mean, he was on it.
He
was on it. The way... Getting to see him... We wondered, how do you get to do the detective piece and portray that without being in Batman's head?
Right.
So we get to do it in
the
Arkham.
comics.
In the comics, you can read the internal dialogue that's going
on. Without it being
awesome.
boring. Like,
right.
True.
You get,
True.
And I think that's why people shied away from it a lot, is that if you were to focus on the intellectual...
Because they're not fans.
Right, exactly.
Because they didn't read the comics.
But, here, Arkham games, you get to do that. Like, you get to, like, figure that out yourself. You get to be a part of it.
Why
You're
they're
immersed in it. Amazing. But this film, you got to... The way that Matt Reeves... is able to immerse you into what Batman is looking at and doing in the crime scenes, and is absolutely amazing. Just the first investigation into the when he walks through the mayor's
death
home, and he is analyzing the crime scene. Think about it this way. If you remember in the Arkham games, and I'm sure many of you played the Arkham games too, when you are looking for evidence, you are walking around and you have to like scan certain areas, focus in, and then it analyzes it. I felt like he was doing the exact same thing. He would walk the scene, and he's walking it with such intentionality that you're like, what is he actually doing here? What is he looking at? What are the things he's catching? Hold on. And then... the thing is, he goes back to the Batcave and he takes out
the contact was so cool.
And you realize he was doing that.
He was
literally recording everything he saw, then going back, reviewing it, and then digging deeper into it and taking notes on everything. It was amazing. You're like, this guy eats, breathes, does nothing but work to be the best Batman he can be, and he knows that that's what it takes. Now, what's your butt? Now, I got to hear this.
I mean, the other Batman fan would like to talk, but...
Of course. I'm sorry. I apologize.
What
was your butt, though?
So in the scenes where he's being a detective, which we haven't seen in any other movie, really.
Never.
Everyone brings up a couple of movies. No,
Batman
come
Begins,
on.
he looked
Batman
at papers
Begins,
on the floor.
Batman, The Dark Knight, Rises. He took analytics on a bullet. Come on.
It's the best example.
Well, give me something better
Batman
here.
Begins,
you're right.
He sat on the floor with like papers around him. That was it. That's all we got.
I love those. Those are my favorite movies. But come on,
this was so much better.
Anyway,
could have done more.
But what I loved is what they did was, besides him taking the contact out, which was amazing. When he was walking around the crime scenes, the cops would kind of like eventually would look at him and like look what he was looking at. And like they would find him, take pictures of what he was looking at. But at the same time, he doesn't give them enough to make a case that's ahead of his case. So because that's where he has his power. He's ahead of everyone in the game. Everyone in the game. So that's what like I thought when I saw that. I was like, oh, he's walking around but not giving away too much to the cops.
But the other side of that.
Least mainly because he doesn't trust them at all. And the only person he eventually trusts is Gordon.
Cops. Yes, but on top of that, here's on top of that. What makes it even more impressive is you're right. He is seeing more in those things. Like the first scene, again, is the indent into the floor and being able to see.
And she takes pictures of it.
She takes the pictures of it, right? They have teams of people working on figuring out what is this indentation? Why was this here? What is something that could match with it? He's one man, and he's still a step ahead of them the entire time. So it's like he's looking at the same things everybody else is looking at. How many cops were in that scene? 30? 40? And they have their forensics there with them, and he's analyzing it on a much deeper. He's playing chess while these guys are playing checkers. Like this is
they're playing like Trouble or something.
Sticks. They're playing pickup sticks. Is what they are. Jacks. Yeah. No. They're rolling that wheel down the road with the stick. That's what they're doing. Yeah, the stick wheel. That's it. Thank you. The colonial stick wheel. That's the game they're playing.
Speaking of his not giving anything away to people or whatever, I love how
yes, Greg, you can talk as a non.
We'll allow it. We'll allow it.
Thank you. I love how stoically silent he was.
But be careful
in every instance.
Think carefully about.
Yeah.
What you
He
said.
was like
he never said anything.
no.
But my favorite scene of when he's in one of the crime scenes is in the first time when he's in there and he's standing there.
Talking about.
And the guy who's like doing forensics like walks up and he's in his way and he's like, just kind of like,
he's like, excuse me.
And Batman does not look at him, does not move. He continues because he's scanning with his eyes. We didn't know at that point, but he's scanning. No. And the guy has to like inch around him to get to what he needs to go to. And Batman's just like, no, you're not worth my time. I need to just do this.
Yeah. I'm here.
You're in my way.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah, it was so good. And we talked so many times about characters. We talked about Mando. We talked about Hugo Weaving in V for Vendetta, where you don't see their faces and yet they still emote so much, right? Well, they still talked, right?
Yeah.
The amount of emotion Robert Pattinson portrayed by not talking, right? Him looking through that crime scene, but then he sees the orphan child, and you can just see him relating and emoting.
And they didn't show anything about him
at all. And then doing the exact same thing at the funeral. Doing the exact same thing at the funeral.
Yes.
And then saving him.
He runs right for the child.
Yep.
Man, he just his ability to emote as Batman was just unbelievable.
So the other thing that was amazing about this, and I know you're going to agree with me on it. So is Gotham. Gotham.
Oh my! The best
portrayal of Gotham.
There were still some statues.
There were,
but they were cool.
They were like
they were
17 million feet high.
Menacing Gotham.
Oh my word! The depravity.
The depravity. Ugh. And I think the best part about it at the start, this whole movie, I'm going to talk about the arc in a minute, but like the beginning is my favorite part of the whole
30 seconds.
movie.
Or no, like the first 2 minutes or whatever.
2 minutes. I know, but I know it's...
You mean after the murder?
Right after the murder.
After the murder, doesn't
Is it after the murder?
The murder's the first thing you see.
Yeah, the murder is the exact...
Remember, it starts with the Riddler like heavy breathing while he's watching the kids and the family and stuff, and then he goes in and kills them. So it was after that.
Right after the murder, where Robert Pattinson he's talking over the scene.
Robertman,
can't be everywhere.
Can't be everywhere. He has to make decisions.
I have to pick my fights wisely.
Exactly. Yeah. And my gosh, they're looking at all of these different crimes, but you can see
petty crimes mostly.
You can see they are all their demeanor shifts. The second they see the light in the sky, the second they see the light in the sky,
you're right.
They are petrified. They will not go. The dark places are where they would normally go to hide.
Right, they get away from it.
Scared. Fear
is the shadows.
His fear.
The drop head dude, which I honestly, you're right, it is. When I first saw it though, before we had any knowledge,
I thought it was like a ghost or something.
I thought it was an onion skin.
Yeah, it kind of looked like an onion.
Yeah.
But he goes out, he robs the guys like 7-Eleven or whatever, and he runs out with the stuff. And then he sees the symbol, and he backs into the street and gets hit by a car.
Yeah, what does he look? He looks down like an alley, right?
Yeah, he was about to run down the alley.
Yeah, he's going to run down the alley.
That's where he would have gone.
And then he backed up with a 44 mag pointing at the... And the guy's like, hey, what are you doing?
Because there's something even more... There's something that should be even more scary than he is. Right. It's what he's now afraid of. And that's
100% what Batman is supposed to be.
Exactly. But yes, it is.
Yeah, it's got the
best
spur almost sound.
Introduction to him ever. Your first seeing him blows you away.
The first thing you see are his giant boots.
The boots are just great.
And then you see the cowl come out of the shadows, and then his
probably one of my least favorite cowls, but I don't even care.
Oh, I
don't even care.
Really?
Don't even care.
What didn't you like about it?
We
both really liked the cowl.
I love the
cowl. What didn't you like? I like the
nose.
leather around the outside.
The nose? Oh,
that was it's a little rounder.
It's like a little rounder.
It's weird.
No, it's not. It's flat.
So from what I read, that Matt Reeves actually got inspiration from the old Adam West cowl and tried to.
That makes sense.
If you see,
makes sense.
It's actually got lines down by the nose.
It does.
Yeah.
And it's rounded.
It does.
Unlike the spiky
and you can
ones.
see the embroidered like leather part, but it's
you didn't like it as much.
Like
I love the practicality of the whole suit.
I love the suit. It's just the mask that got me a little bit. But I got over it. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care because you know what? It doesn't matter what's on the outside. What's in the inside.
What's on the inside was scary as all.
It's what he does that defines him.
Oh, yes, it is. And he does a lot. He does a lot.
Well, but when the three of us talked about this before.
You're gonna do it. You're gonna do it.
I'm gonna do it.
You were gonna do it.
I don't think I'm doing it. I don't think I'm doing what you're thinking.
It was gonna be him.
I don't think I'm doing what you're thinking.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna say that I really appreciated
He changed it.
No, I changed
it because he saw the shadows. He looked into the shadows of.
Well, he knew he was about to get into a Batman sandwich.
No. Batman sandwich.
No,
I changed what he was going to say.
We were just talking about. You said it's what defines the person, right?
Yeah.
And then my first reaction was, he crushes people, and then I realized, I remembered, I love the arc where he went from. He is obsessed with vengeance, and just beating the snot out of people.
100%, that's all he cares about.
Right, but then by the end of the movie, he realizes that won't save things, and instead he needs to be a hope and a symbol.
Right.
And what I really appreciate about that is, so Batman Begins, right? That is also an early start of Batman, right? It's year one.
Year one.
But I think the mistake that they made, well, they made several, but the mistake that they made in Batman Begins is that the plane ride home from, before he even is
Mongolia.
Batman, when Alfred picks him up, he already gets the realization that he needs to be a symbol.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's no.
He does not go through the process of
when
depravity
Batman starts, when Batman starts, he's obsessed with vengeance. Right. He's obsessed with that brutality.
Yes.
He doesn't really, it's all for him. And then he realizes it needs to be for others. It needs to be a symbol of hope.
Yeah.
I love that arc.
Yeah, that was good. No, I
completely
agree with you.
The two biggest things to hit on with that are the interactions of civilians with Batman. And civilians I use in terms of just like people who are innocent.
Well, and his family members.
His
Alfred, Gordon, and Selina. They help him grow.
But what I'm saying is when you see the young kid in the first scene, all of the other guys, all of the painted face clowns get just destroyed by Batman. The kid runs away, and then the guy that they were going to jump, he is literally like, don't hurt me.
He was afraid of Batman.
Just afraid of Batman as much, if not more, than the other guys. And then at the end of the movie, the woman who he's carrying reaches for him when he's about to let go of her. And grabs onto him, and he reassures her. Right. And it shows that those who are innocent see him as a symbol of hope. Right. But it does not lose the fact that those who are not should fear every shadow, every corner, every nook and cranny of Gotham because of him.
Yeah, man. Yeah. What were you going to say, Harry?
I don't know. I got rudely interrupted.
Yeah, that's my MO. That's what I do. That's what I do.
Logan kind of started that rundown of what he liked. What was something that you really appreciated about this film, Harry? That was something that, as a Batman fan, you were like, "This is it." Besides, he mentioned the detective thing. What else did you really like about it?
Well, that's the whole reason why when I was a kid I really liked them, because Batman broke it down to a science. So besides that, which would be one of the one or two things that I would pick.
It was a huge part of the film.
I honestly didn't think that they could do a better job of a Batman origin story than Batman Begins, but they did.
Yes.
So
I agree with you.
Wow.
I agree with him
too. It's a bold freaking statement, but
I think you're exactly
I don't know.
Right.
I think people, like you said, are going to compare this to the Nolan trilogy. That's what they're going to go. They're not going to go back to Keaton. They're not going to go back to Val Kilmer.
And we're going.
They're not going to go back to the Snyder series. They're going to go back to Christopher Nolan. And let me tell you, honestly, I know a lot of people are like, well, it's good and everything, but I don't think it's going to run that. It's going to give them a run for the money. If it continues down like this, if this is the start of the same way that Batman Begins started the trilogy, there's no doubt in my mind. If they keep it the same, there's no doubt in my mind it will give it a run for its money. I'm just saying.
You are in the right track.
So, but the reason why I'm saying that is because
just wanted to feel like a Batman fan.
But yeah, you really awkwardly put it on top. Go team.
Go team.
Remember that thought. Okay. I'm going to talk for you. The reason I liked it so much is because I know it's impressive. The reason I liked it so much is because that they showed that he's still learning. He's moving, transitioning from that vengeance, not only the vengeance and not only becoming a hope, but also his fighting styles. He only has really one fighting style. It's a bruiser fighter.
He's got one move.
He's got one move. But he did do a couple, like at the end, he did do a couple cape twirls and throws, when he was in the police precinct, he just like threw the cape at him, creates distance. You know, if anyone played Arkham series, that's a double B move. So
you mash that
exactly.
When you're surrounded, you
you gotta stun those dudes, man.
Everyone is stunned.
He's whispering that under his breath as he's beep.
But that being said, he also got beat up a lot. He got shot a lot, and he got just trashed a lot.
Yeah.
So them showing that he's still learning how to fight, still learning how to be a detective, because he used Alfred too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Alfred helped him.
He will, and he
Zoe
will always do that.
Catwoman helped him.
Yep.
I will say though, I love the first scene when he enters the Iceberg Lounge and the twins come to him.
Oh, so those twins got it worse than him.
Oh yeah, he hits
those twins got.
Weren't there Russian twins in the Iceberg Lounge in the Arkham series?
Yeah. But I loved his fight through that because he made it through the twins pretty easy. Yeah. But then people started and he has a crowd of people around him. He's not used to it, and he's trying to get around everybody. And you could tell he the Batman that we see at in the height of his career would have approached that much differently.
Completely different,
right?
Very
he
different.
never goes in the front door.
Right. Well, he knocked the door, he opened it, and it was just like he was
when he's emotionally charged. I mean, it was there. Do you know what that drew?
But if he does that,
do you know what made me think that?
Well, he wasn't there yet.
It was. Hold on. It was the Dark Knight when he is going in the club.
Yes, and he lands on the table
Eric
and
Roberts.
Yeah,
he fights through the whole catwalk to get to the VIP area.
Yeah, he was much more competent.
Oh, he was much more competent at that point. Oh, he was much more competent. But what I'm just saying is, it gave me it made it reminiscing.
Didn't he crash in through a window and then
he
knock
went
him
in
around?
straight. He went in straight through the club.
I gotta watch it again.
Yeah,
I mean, I always want to watch that movie.
But that scene, the crucial part of that scene was actually the fact that he stopped and held restraint when he ran right into the Penguin.
Yes.
Penguin was like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah, literally. Hey, what's going on?
Colin Farrell disappeared into the Penguin.
I was telling him, I tried hard
too.
I know him. I know Colin Farrell. I've seen a lot of his movies. I tried to find him in the scenes. I tried to
look to see, there's Colin Farrell. There he is.
But his accent's gone. His facial features are gone.
I don't know much besides that he was in Wolverine, X-Men. Which one was he in? He was Bullet, right? Or
no, he was. Dude, no. He was in Ben Affleck Daredevil.
Daredevil. That's what it was.
He was.
What's his name?
Crosshair.
Crosshair?
No, it's Bullseye.
Bullseye.
Come on.
Sorry. Listen, bring it back to OG.
It's okay for you. That's embarrassing for you.
No, it's a great show.
I'm disappointed.
It's a great show. Regardless.
It wasn't even the show.
Tried to find Scrubs?
Oh.
Scrubs
he was on a show.
He was on Scrubs.
I thought about Daredevil show, not the movie.
No. Trying to find him, though. He disappeared entirely.
Oh, no, he did great. I don't even know who he is, and I think he did great.
Cobblepot, I think, was one of my favorite characters in this whole thing. He
was also Grindelwald in the first Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah.
Didn't watch it.
It's pretty good.
He's a big name actor.
He's a big name.
No, I know he is.
But he disappeared into the Penguin.
So great.
And I mean,
so great.
I loved the way that the facial structure was the Penguin. I love that he was scarred.
Yep.
And but the
very
scars
Arkham.
even made
it was very Arkham.
Like this.
Yes, the scars made his nose, which they already made a little bit more pointed, but it made it even more prominent. It made
and the lips
conical face almost.
And the limp, so that it made him waddle. And his body being larger.
They zip tied him up after the car chase scene, and he waddled around. I was like, he's waddling.
It was great.
He's like, hey, what are you guys gonna tie me?
Yeah. And then he's waddling like a penguin.
Yeah, it was great.
It was so good.
I loved Gordon's like look of jealousy of Batman's car when they both got into their car.
He's rolling up in a Ford Taurus, and Batman's like, I got a 1966 muscle car. What's up? Oh yeah, it's got a jet engine in the back
with alien tech in
What's
the back.
Up?
Like, it was so cool, man. My favorite Batmobile of any Batman movie ever.
That's a bold statement.
It is a bold statement.
It's definitely top.
I think it's my
three.
favorite.
Yeah,
it's my favorite.
top 3.
The muscle car Batmobile has always been my favorite idea, and this one just took it to another level.
If you're talking muscle car, Batman is the best one.
There's only a few to go for.
No, 100%. But I'm just saying, in all the Batmobile iterations, I've always liked the muscle car version.
They actually had, I think in New York, they had the model up somewhere. It was in New York? Maybe it was down in Philly. I don't even know.
For this one?
Yeah, like a couple days ago, like Wednesday or Tuesday, Wednesday. It was in like a mall or something like that.
I don't know how I missed that.
I don't think it was in Philly. I think it was New York.
Must have been.
Anyway, I saw a video of someone like rolling up on it. Thing looks sweet. It was cool in the movie. You should see it in like the mock person. Yeah, in person.
Yeah, so great.
All right, every part of this, every part of this was so intentional. I think that was what I loved best about this film was there was not any wasted dialogue.
Yeah.
Everything said and everything done was incredibly intentional.
Well, and it is such a harsh, like, distinction from because we've just watched the most one-liner driven Batman movies.
It's the exact opposite.
It was all dialogue. Everything was dialogue in here.
Two further apart films.
You know what's hilarious too is when I went to work on yesterday. Friday.
On the yesterday.
I don't think any of us have recovered from that night.
Not
anyway,
I'm real tired.
I went into work and the one coworker of mine told me that her friend watched it, and she said that her friend, he told her that he thought this was the most like campy one-liner movie for Batman. And I said,
wait, the Batman?
I was like, excuse me? And she's like, yeah. I was like, does this man know any other Batman movie? And she's like, oh, I don't know. And I was like,
wait,
I was like, is he a fan?
I can't.
She's like, I think so. I'm like, this dude's an idiot. I told her straight up.
There was, we can, I think like,
I want his name.
One-liner?
I want his address. I want his social security number.
What?
I want his date of birth.
I don't need that.
Like
I'll be able to pick him up out of a line. I'll be like, this idiot right here.
This idiot right here.
Two
I'll say it to his face.
This man with a man bun.
Maybe in the
Guaranteed.
Guaranteed he has a man bun.
Catchphrases.
And if one day you're listening to this, I've got your name. I've got your number.
We will find you.
Unless you're a $10 Patreon supporter, in which case, thank you very much. We appreciate your patronage.
I will take your $10 and
no, we need those.
Buy more side blades.
It's a rough one.
Side blades.
Yeah.
All right,
all $10
just kidding.
We invested to
treat
Batman stuff.
we treat our Patreons with respect.
That's right.
And dignity, unless you call this a campy movie.
Yeah.
Let's sandwich this because we want to end on something good. But there is the elephant in the room that we do need to talk about.
There's two elephants in the room.
It's a smaller elephant
maybe there's
than
two.
I'm thinking back on it, but it really isn't that big of a deal.
100%.
You go with yours because I know what yours is going to be.
Okay, I'm interested to hear your second.
As a quality review,
I will say it. You don't get to say it.
I don't want to say it.
You don't get to say it.
I'm just bringing it up so that we stay on track.
The Batsuit was OP. The Batsuit was OP.
He ate bullets.
Dude, he
ate 40 rounds of 30-06 to the chest. Then a 12-gauge shotgun in one sequence.
The bomb.
And a bomb.
There's a couple of sequences that are just unjustifiable.
He held a bomb to his face and it blew up.
Unjustifiable. So let's break them down.
He wasn't even burned.
No. First one is a bomb.
Not even burned.
Straight to the face.
Straight up blown up.
He was holding him. It was on the guy's neck.
Right.
Yeah.
I expected him to kick away from him.
Yeah.
Like Alfred did and hide under a desk?
Yeah. Right.
Just throw the guy.
No, he ate a bomb, man.
No, straight to the face.
Bomb. And that's not justifiable. You can't justify that in any way, shape, or form.
That's not just the suit. What does he have, like Kryptonian skin?
Right,
that's his
exactly.
Face. Like his bottom of his face should be completely scarred.
So you can't justify that. That was
weird.
Too much.
It was weird too. It wasn't necessary. Like there was no reason for it.
But here's the thing: it's not even just the suit. Like it's the fact that he can't walk away from some of these things uninjured, and you just kept on seeing him. He would have bruises, or he would
every single one of his ribs would be dust.
Yeah.
His legs would be shattered from when he hit the overpass.
He would have one of the worst concussions.
He hit his back.
At the very least, he would have one of the worst concussions of all time on the bomb.
No,
I'm just talking
dead.
bomb. But hear me out. I agree.
Face is vaporized.
He's dead. So, like, he died multiple times in this movie. He should not have been alive. So, bomb is one.
But we're going to go over.
Second is the overpass. The overpass.
Like, yeah, I guess. Is it overpass or underpass? Well, depends which way you were going.
It does, yeah.
He hit the underside.
He hit the underpass.
He hit the underpass.
Hit the truck and the ground.
Hit the ground.
Now,
and
that one
got right up and walked away.
That one, okay, besides the get up and walked away, that one, he could have like a reinforced spine, which is possible or something like that. You can't, come on. They have those for like motorcycle accidents and stuff. I'm not saying going 75 miles an hour and getting hit by a truck and also steel beams. But it is the Batman.
So here's what I want to say about it. Here's what I want to say about it. You're exactly right on that. Yeah. That's the one. He
may not be paralyzed, but
he may not walk away.
He can't walk.
The Riddler now has like 5 months to do what he wants to do while Batman recovers.
Yeah. So this is the thing. It's like he doesn't need to have a broken back like in Nightfall. He won't be able to walk. Both his legs are broken. He has to recover. Like there's no way he can do that. When he blew up, he was dead.
Well,
and so he died. He had 2
pretty
broken
much paralyzed.
Yeah. And then he
took a shotgun to the chest.
No. Before the shotgun.
Oh, before that
is the scene in
the MAC-10s to the chest.
He took 40 rounds, 50 rounds.
More than that. Those things shoot 1,000 rounds per minute.
This is right onto the suit.
Yeah.
Right. And he kept walking forward.
So, here, let me.
And there was the piece that didn't make sense here. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. So he's got 2 guys with machine guns shooting directly at him, and he walks essentially through the bullets. Right. Mm-hmm. Then when he's in the scene with Catwoman and she's robbing the back of they
find the friend's head in the bag.
The car, and they find the friend's body in the bag.
It was just her head, I thought.
No, it was the whole body.
Was it?
It was a.
I mean, they zipped
the body bag,
but it was a whole.
It was a body bag.
Yeah.
It was a body bag, and they only unzipped the top.
I didn't think it was big enough.
It doesn't matter. Penguin shoots him with an Uzi, and he falls over,
and he's
almost
like
knocked out.
Yeah, and like that's good. Though.
That makes sense.
What should happen.
That made sense. Not walking through bullets.
Right.
Yeah.
And then finally, the worst is
2 more.
2 more. What's
the shotgun one?
The shotgun,
and then the.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yeah. So the first.
Don't forget that one.
Shotgun, straight point blank,
right here.
Double barrel,
right on the old Bat-nipple,
like straight up. You're dead.
But
dead.
Well, maybe not
necessarily. Shotguns they're bludgeoned.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he would have a cracked sternum, 100%.
Yes. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. I will.
Which fragments probably would have went into his heart, and he probably would have died anyway. But armor piercing is what really.
He also got shot in the head.
You're more on the
He also got shot in the head in that battle because he ends up having like a ding in his helmet.
Yeah.
Which is what it is. But
and then finally is the electrocution.
Yeah.
I'm just actually blown away by that decision because
all of it, the whole thing.
The whole thing about it is you see the wire there, like you've had on point precision grappling hook work this whole time.
You shot it through dude's thighs.
Right. You have
that was a great scene.
Batarang
it was.
on your chest.
Yeah.
Which coolest batarang I've ever seen.
At this point, man, it's a batter knife.
Yes, but what I'm saying
as a throw.
But that's what I'm saying is like it's right there.
And then he misses and it just flies
off.
It's like, crap.
You could have just thrown it. Like that's Batman would have been able to do that.
But
the final
decision, year two.
I know. But the final decision is we cut above us.
Well, first of all, let me jump on all this live electricity.
Before that, even
cut below us.
Okay. Let me just run you through it, right? So the water was getting closer, right?
Yeah,
but
it wasn't going to get to the level because that was equal to the distance because he wouldn't have made the jump.
There was a cable hanging down.
There was a cable hanging down.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't near the water.
I thought it was.
It was like it was above.
It was near the water.
That's why
it wasn't that close. It wasn't that close.
Yeah.
Okay.
I look at wires a lot.
He has adrenaline running through him.
I'm going to trust you on your. I'm going to trust you on
your
area.
It wasn't as low as you think it was. Okay, but there were like things dangling, so it kind of looked like, oh, if it fell, it would electrocute.
Right.
That's not how electricity works.
Right.
If it gets cut,
the number of inaccuracies around electricity in movies is actually insane.
Sparks are cool.
Yeah, sparks are cool. But if the source of power is coming from the top.
Yeah.
And that piece that's dangling gets cut off from the source of power that's coming from the top.
Right.
That piece of whatever it is just becomes a large piece of material that's just de-energized.
Right. That's why he cut it.
So it's right. That's why he cut it. But if you just let it drop, it wouldn't have done anything.
Right.
Oh, you're saying if it would just fallen
Unless
by
it's a giant
itself.
capacitor, and even then, in the water, its probability of that happening is unlikely.
Yeah.
Well, I think
so.
yeah.
Here's the thing:
He made a bad choice.
The suit. The only thing that I tried to rationalize with the suit.
Yeah.
Hear me out. This isn't a good rationalization, but I'm
Better
going to
than
try
nothing.
it.
Skinny boy.
He's a skinny Batman.
Yeah.
He's not a big Batman.
Yeah. No, he isn't.
But when he's in the suit, he's gigantic.
Right.
Gigantic.
Right.
So this suit.
I would say he's gigantic. He's big.
He's a lot bigger than
He's not. He's not gigantic.
He's a lot.
He's like a Terry McGinnis Batman.
He's a lot bigger than he is out of the suit. Though.
He's a lot bigger than he is out of the suit. So hear me out.
He's got a lot of padding.
Suit,
That's what he's saying. Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is probably a thicker, more dense material suit than we've seen in any Batman movie to date. You think about
Besides
Ben Affleck.
Batflex.
You think Batflex?
He had a straight up Iron Man suit.
Not.
Oh no, he's talking about his regular Batman.
I'm talking
suit.
about his regular
still a
Batman
suit.
suit. You're right.
Yeah, but
You're
it's
right.
skin tight.
The Dark Knight Returns suit, basically, when he fights Superman.
Right.
Is definitely exactly what you're talking about. I'm 100% on what you're with there.
No,
my
I see
point
what you're
is,
saying
as a
now.
regular day-to-day suit,
Yeah.
this was a more
Night to night.
night to night. Thank you. More 100%. Give yourself. Come on. You earned it. You earned that.
Thanks.
You earned that.
Hey.
Earn it.
This is a
Earn your
heavier
side
duty,
blades.
tactile suit in every way.
Oh,
so,
absolutely.
like, I could justify certain
Maybe.
things.
So
Not to the
you're
extent,
saying there's a chance.
but not to the
Not
even
the bomb
to the
to the
extent.
face.
Not
The
the bomb
only
to the
things
face,
that I can't even justify at all though. Like, okay, bullets, maybe okay. He could walk through, maybe. Not the overpass,
And not the bomb.
and not the bomb.
Not
Yeah,
the bomb.
those
The
are
bomb
huge.
was where
The
I drew the
bomb
line.
is where I draw
when
the
I
line.
saw that, I was
so
like,
weird.
It
was
made
so
no
weird.
sense.
And the
It was
slow
such
motion, like, blowback.
At
At the
bad
very least, he
choice.
should have
It
like
was such a bad choice.
like fragments in his face.
Or
Yeah.
burned up
Because you can
face.
have ballistic, like, yes, you can have ballistic padding on your chest, but his face was exposed right here.
I know. I'm with you. I'm with you. So
he
the
takes off
suit,
the cowl, and there's like a tan line
Yeah.
all the way across.
the suit being OP is it is what it is.
It's annoying.
It is what it is,
what it
but
is.
it's annoying.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's not bad.
It's not well, no, but like
It's annoying.
so you think about something here. Here's what's really hard about it. You look at the scene where he is doing the fight in the dark hallway with the guns. It looks awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it
amazing.
It
real
looks
The first
awesome.
the first couple guys he goes through, they don't touch him.
No.
The bullets don't hit him.
No,
it's just
right.
when that double Uzi
Yep.
like that to the center
but
of him.
even-
That's
but
where it
even
was.
that looks
Oh, look
awesome.
great.
Yeah.
Look great.
But the problem is
Didn't look like
when
Batman.
you are a Batman fan,
It's
and
all
you
about
see that,
realistic.
you're like,
well,
It's all
come
about
on, I can't.
being realistic.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but it also, to some degree, that and like the bomb scene, it removes some element of fear when he's in a situation that's tough.
Right.
It's like,
Right.
well,
especially being a year two Batman.
right.
Yep.
It's like, well,
Especially being a year two
is
Batman.
this like human Batman who's
Right.
fighting, or is this going to be like superhuman? Like if they can
Yeah.
do that once, they can do it again. So
And I just
do
hope
we
they
really
learn from
have,
those
Just
mistakes.
that's it.
Right.
That's it.
Do we have that
that's
fear?
mine.
Right.
What is yours?
What was your one?
Well, mine's-
Yeah. What was your elephant?
From yours is like an analytical. Mine is more of a what the common people are going to be upset about, which
Okay.
is the length of the movie.
Oh yeah.
I
I
know.
hear this.
I'm
I hear
struggling.
this.
I
Yeah.
personally can sit
I wanna
through a
see
3-hour
that.
movie because I regularly watch Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
So
Regularly.
So, like, at least a couple
4.5,
times a year.
Yeah.
So-
no problem on that.
I have no problem because I dedicate, if I'm going to watch a movie, I dedicate however long the movie is to watch
Right.
that movie.
Right.
I knew walking in it was going to be a 2-hour and 56-minute movie.
right.
Yes.
I knew when I walked in it was going to be a 2-hour and 56-hour long movie
At 11 o'clock
at
at night.
11 o'clock at night. They're going to complain that this is too long. I get it. It could have been 30, at the very least 30 minutes shorter. At the very least.
Yeah, it could have been.
40. Some people said 45 minutes. Some people said an hour. I think an hour, you can get the heck out of
Yeah,
here
an
with
hour-
that
an hour's a
opinion.
little
Get
too
out of
much.
here.
45
Get
minutes.
outta here.
I'm just going to call you like lazy and you just probably want to go on TikTok.
Right.
30 minutes,
Right.
I can argue with that. That's a good argument. 30 minutes is a solid argument.
Again, though.
I need to see
I
it
was in-
7 to 27 more
I
times
agree.
I was
before I
in
can
the-
make that call.
The first time it comes out, we're watching it up there.
I
Oh,
was in the 45 minute. I was
Dark room.
I was in the 45-minute camp.
On all 3 TVs at the same time.
Yeah. We each get our own.
Yeah, but all synced up.
But all at the same time.
All synced up.
I was in the 45-minute camp. I was in the 45-minute camp of like, I wanted to be sure.
I remember because you said 40 minutes. I said 30 minutes.
Yeah, and I was like, but then the more I thought, that's why I want to see it again, is the more I thought about it, I was so freaking tired, even though I did enjoy it. I loved every minute of it. Like, I really did. I was so tired. I felt like the majority of the times, I felt like the majority of the times,
I'm just watching you,
where I was like, man, this is dragging, was also the times where I was thinking, man, I want to be in my bed right now.
Yeah.
Well, there were also the times where, I mean, the most parts were with like him and Catwoman kind of staring at each other for like a solid 30 seconds. They're great, but does that need to happen now?
Yeah,
I don't think so.
Well, I hear you.
And that's one of the points I was going to get at. It was like, I don't think the romance, I don't think the relationship, not the relationship starting, but the relationship like extreme building home makeover edition needed to happen in this movie.
It's a good line.
Okay, so like
what needed to happen though was that Robert Pattinson, he needed to watch some more Val Kilmer, so that when she kissed him, he gave a little giggle.
You want to know who I am? I'm Bruce Wayne.
Oh man, you're right. I am a rich white guy.
She pegged him.
Yeah, I like rich white guys. He's just like, at the very least, you know I'm white, right? Like,
no.
Like, I know I dress up in black, but I'm white. Like, you can see my face.
Well, it should have been horribly burned, though.
That's true.
Should have
been horribly burned by the time he met her.
That's true.
Anyway.
Well, actually, no, he met her before the bomb
Did he meet her before the bomb?
Yeah, he met her before the bomb scene, but but after the bomb scene, she should have been like,
"Your face is blown up. I don't know what race you are."
Yeah.
I'm a scarred human being. Okay,
I hear you on that. But I love long movies.
On the outside that counts,
and that's why I'm saying I need to see it a
I
bunch of more times because I need to be able to see and say like, okay, this is a moment that I can actually remove. I didn't need it.
Sure.
I didn't need it for the story. Like, I just don't think for right now I can honestly say like there are snippets that I feel like don't go with the tone or don't fit. I hear what you're saying with Catwoman.
You're saying there aren't any?
No, not that I can tell right now. Just
so you don't think the scene at the end with him and Catwoman talking about what she's gonna go do afterwards, like that couldn't have been shorter?
Fun. Here's what I will say about
the motorcycle just riding around. Like,
here's what I will say about it. It fit with everything else in the film.
It did, but
the way that they approached, you have to think about this. The way that they approached Bruce and Batman's character, he was incredibly thoughtful and methodical in everything he said and did. And the way he did that was slow. So it was like that is how I believe from my lens, Matt Reeves built the
pacing
being
of it.
in his head a little bit because a little bit longer in each of those areas gave you the opportunity in the audience to think, okay, what would I think in this situation?
Yeah, maybe.
As opposed to having it fed to you the entire time.
Right.
And so in those moments, it just fit. Do I think that could be one? That could be one. You could be right. But I'm just saying it fit with the tone of everything else, so I didn't notice it as much.
I don't want it to be shorter. I don't. I loved every second of it. Could have been. I could agree that it could have been.
Okay.
But at the same time, I'm also going to tell the people that are like you know, what are they, fair weather Batman fans?
Fair weather Batman fans,
just don't watch it then.
Right. This is
or
because
just don't be a Batman fan.
Much
like, I mean,
more for the fans.
Because like this, if Batman fans are telling you that have seen it, that are like, this is what the fans want. This is what actual comic book fans.
It's what gets the people going.
Wow, it's what
Watch
gets the fans going.
And if you don't read the comics, which is fine if you don't read the comics, but if you read the comics and don't like the comics, don't watch the movie.
Yes.
Because you're not going to enjoy it at all. You won't. This is a realistic, this is a dark, this is a just grungy, like you kind of are like watching it and it's raining all the time and you're just like, this is just a dark movie.
Yeah.
No,
I'm with you.
You know, the karaoke scene with Bruce Wayne and Alfred, though, I felt a little off. It's a little bit weird. Tonally.
Well, it's not just dad, so it's okay.
Tonally, it felt okay, yeah, I get that. There's just more like buds going out for a little... Buds going out for a song.
He's not even like entertaining. That didn't happen, just to let you know if you didn't watch it. If you did watch it, or if you didn't watch it and you're listening to this podcast this long, I applaud you.
Yeah. Kudos to you. How about the verdict time?
We're going to need to cut those.
There's going to be violence.
There's going to be violence.
Verdict time.
There will be vengeance.
Wait, are we done though?
Well, can we wrap it up in the verdict?
Do you have anything
I can
else?
go for another hour.
Yeah,
the only thing I want to wrap it up is that
put a ball.
The only thing that it's not the two. So that we said two things we kind of not dislike, but could have done better. We're not going to talk negative about this movie because it was phenomenal.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
But another thing that is not on that level, but they could have done more is, and I understand the way you're talking about it and like the way that you're supposed to be immersing yourself into the year 2 Batman and how he's learning and everything. I just could have gone with more action. There could have been more fighting.
Maybe. Yeah.
A little bit more fighting.
Yeah.
I can see what you're saying there.
I liked that he talked to Penguin a lot. I liked that he talked to the Riddler, but I just wish there was more fighting because when there was fighting,
it's so good.
It was amazing.
So good.
But then
So
here's the
he
thing.
shot 2 freaking grappling hooks into 2 different guys and did like a gainer backflip, and it was amazing.
I hear you.
Yeah.
My concern, had there been more, may have then diminished how amazing.
I thought about
the
that.
other parts
I
were.
thought the same thing. I said that even, and I said, nah.
Okay.
I don't think so.
All right. Well, then, I mean, you might be right, but
was there any one scene that, like, when that happened, you're like, it could have, like, not done that?
No. When they were fighting?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so.
No, but what I'm saying,
some more
what I'm
is
saying,
better.
More bone crunching.
Not always.
Not always, but when it comes to Batman beating the crap out of criminals, I don't know.
I loved every one of his interactions. His interactions, like you were just saying with the villains, but also his interactions with Gordon.
Oh, yeah. Gordon was amazing.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, we haven't talked about Gordon. Let's talk about Gordon a little bit, then we can go to the verdict.
Gordon.
I had one more thing to ask you guys then.
Okay. Gordon was
cap it.
Just phenomenal.
It was amazing.
So
like
great.
his
such a good Gordon
allegiance to Batman. Number one,
just already he saw him for what he was before Batman saw what Batman
you
was.
You are 100% on it. That is a great
point.
True.
Yeah, true. Good.
And he was willing. I mean, the scene where he gets punched in the face.
Yeah,
he's like to allow him to.
You could have pulled your punch.
I did. It's such a Batman.
Yeah.
So that's certified. Like
he did some vanishing in this movie too. Some like
1 or 2, not a lot, but 1 or 2.
It was cool.
Yeah.
It wasn't overused.
I was like, are they gonna go the whole movie without doing it? And then they did it. I was like,
it wasn't overused though.
He progressively got more Batman.
The scene in which one of the best scenes when they're going it was like buddy cop at that moment when they're going through the asylum, the orphanage.
Oh no!
Yeah,
we're gonna get an asylum. Yeah, not this movie.
Not this movie.
We're also getting Arkham Asylum TV show.
We are,
based on with Matt Reeves with these characters.
That's what I was gonna say. So we have Arkham
3 spinoffs.
We have Arkham Asylum. We have Arkham Asylum comic, like the graphic novel Arkham Asylum. When
it's nuts.
I have that, and it is scary.
The artwork is very impressionist.
Well,
it's all like
Batman
very abstract.
You never see him clearly.
Right. Yes, and he's always never seen like clearly. The cape is all crazy and tangly.
And the reason for that is, and it's one of my. If you go way back, I said this is one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite
Batman runs. We did that top
runs, and the reason is
back when we did top 10 videos.
The artist in that graphic novel wanted you to have the idea that Batman is scarier when not seen. It's just like with any scary
2
movie.
Minutes. Oh,
you don't see it when you don't see a villain, or you don't see something in the shadows clearly. Like your mind makes something scarier
worse than it is
than what it even is.
Right.
And that's basically the whole graphic novel is Batman's not clearly seen, so it's always what other characters in the comic see him as, and it's scarier for each person. And
like they're all scary, but Batman's the scariest thing.
He's the scariest thing in there.
He's
the scariest thing in there.
Yeah. So Gordon was great.
Gordon was phenomenal. His interactions with Batman were phenomenal.
The Riddler was great.
The Riddler was on point the entire time.
It's the Riddler we wanted. I love Jim Carrey as Riddler. Jim Carrey is like the best Riddler.
Yes. The campy Riddler.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But the thing that was really interesting was the ending with the Riddler, where
this is the last thing I wanted to bring up. What did you guys think of that? We didn't really get a stinger. But like,
no, I'm before that. I'm before this.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about when they are in one-on-one conversation, and you think he knows Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, we were saying that. Yeah,
and so we realize Batman doesn't solve this the way that we think he solves it.
Right.
Right. He doesn't actually get all the way to the end, and the Riddler makes the comment of like, I thought you were. I can't remember the exact line, but it's like, I thought you were smarter than this, or I thought
that's what he says.
But the other side of that is, Riddler, I thought you were smarter than this. I thought you had figured me out.
Right.
And the reality is, it was lose-lose. Neither of them won in this situation.
Right.
And that's what's even crazier.
Right. The moment when Batman realizes
both of those characters, because now they're setting up, gives both of those characters more room to evolve even more.
Yes. Yeah.
And so we get this then interaction with the Joker
that's what
at
I want
the
to talk
end,
about,
which,
or whatever it is.
You want to pair two people up? Right.
You want to
out of the gallery of rogues for Batman?
Especially that kind of Riddler.
Those two?
Like, that kind of Riddler is super.
I've got goosebumps right now just even thinking about those two.
What they could do.
Like what they could do.
So the guy who plays the quote unquote Joker, his name is Barry Keoghan. He's the guy who played Druig in the Eternals, the guy who can control people's minds.
Which smart
I think he'd be a legit Joker.
That is a legit.
He's really creepy.
Casting.
He's got some really cool.
I sat there,
cadence and
I sat there and I go, I know this voice.
Yeah,
I know this voice, and you don't get the good, you don't get the good look at his face, but
no,
that's brilliant.
Yeah, so
that's a great casting.
The assumption is that he's the Joker because he talks about being a clown and he laughs like the Joker.
It's the Joker. He's got you can see the hair, and it almost looks like. Do you know which Joker it kind of looked like? I caught. Just like, because I'm looking for like shadows on the face.
It kind of reminded me of the Gotham one.
No.
What were you thinking of?
I think it's the scarred one who cuts off his own face and
the one from Gotham is based off of that guy.
Yeah.
So, because he ends up doing the same thing, cutting his own face.
The one from Gotham is pretty creepy, too.
That
was the only thing that was keeping me in.
Yeah, it's Joker.
Gotham was really good, and then just kind of got,
the guy who played the Penguin
wasn't bad, but he wasn't fat.
No.
Just skinny.
Right, he was skinny. But anyway, so he may be the Joker, and I mean, Matt Reeves wants to do another movie.
He's going to get it.
Battinson wants to do another movie, so
he's going to get it.
Let's do it.
I want a trilogy.
Oh, 100%. I want more than a trilogy.
And then we can have the conversation between Nolan and this one. You can't have the comparison conversation until they get 3.
So we can't. So we can.
If they get 2, you can maybe do it.
We can start to have the conversation.
Somewhat, and we did a little bit in this podcast. We can somewhat talk about the parallels between that
1v1
and Batman Begins. And like what did they do? But we really.
Yeah, I mean, if you do that sort of compare, I mean, like think about it. So Nolan's best one was his second. Right? Nolan's best one was the second.
But the only reason I would argue the only reason the third one wasn't better was because Heath Ledger's death threw a whole wrench into it. They had to rewrite everything. They had to change everything. Like it really stunk.
I don't know. I thought he had 3 is still really good to me.
I still really like 3.
No, I love Rises.
But I'm saying he had the third movie pretty much written, and then Heath Ledger died, and he had to rewrite the whole thing.
True.
And so that's why I'm saying, I'm not saying Rises is bad.
You almost wonder.
Saying I wonder if the third would have been better than the second one if that had
No, but my point with that wasn't that. My point with it was a first film where you're doing an introduction to a character, your type of character, despite the fact that this wasn't really an origin story. It was it's
he's already
a year or two he's already established. So it's not like a true origin story. But like the second film gives him then that opportunity to really open things up.
Right. There's no more introductions.
There's no more introductions. You are just going full in. And that's why I think the second one was the best for Nolan. And true. If we are going to do a comparison right now, you only can look at Begins versus this. Right. You can only say, okay,
that's all you can do.
Your introduction to your character, whose was better? Right now, Reeves.
Right.
I agree. Well, that's part of our verdict. Let's go to the verdict time. All right. You end. I'll go first since I'm not the Batman person. I don't have a lot to
say. It's a perfection for me. It's perfect. It's outside.
I was going to let you have the last word.
Sorry, you don't need to. I'll take the first, last, every word. It's there's nothing dramatically that I would change in any part of this. Right. Would I have him not take bullets or bombs to the face?
Bullets,
yeah. Right. Yes. But does it break the movie in any way, shape, or form? No. And
I can
that's
completely
okay.
look over that.
Like I can get myself past it. Do I hope in the second film they do less of that? Yeah.
Yes.
But and more fighting? Sure. But
yeah.
I in no way am I disappointed with this film at all. I'm blown away by it. I am amazed by how they made the investigation side come in and show the world's greatest detective.
Yeah.
It's never been done before. And he crushed it. There's nothing you can say outside of that.
Yeah, I agree. Do you want to take the last one, or do you want me to?
Sure, I'll go last.
Give him the last word.
I was going to give you the last word.
Give him the last word.
All right,
he
I will.
Can have it.
It's fine. It's a perfection for me.
Pray hands.
It's a perfection for me, 100%. I'm the same way. I can't think of anything I would have really made better, other than like you said, the invulnerability.
Don't eat bullets, man.
Yeah, but again, that didn't take away from the enjoyment. It took away from the enjoyment for like a split second, because I was like, oh, that's dumb. And I was like, nah, this is awesome.
Oh, sweet. Just beat his face in.
Yeah. Okay, never mind.
Sweet.
All is forgiven.
Yeah. I'm back in.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm back. Oh, you know what? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. It was forgiven very quickly. I would say, and I'm going to go up there. I'm going to say it for me. This is my favorite Batman movie of all time.
All right.
It is. I mean, like I love
a bold statement.
It's a bold statement, but I'm not even going to
hate on it.
I'm not going to hate on it
at all.
We've talked about it a bit. And I know you mentioned Dark Knight is still better for you.
This is number 2.
At this point.
This is not, if I just go straight up Batman films, this is my number 2 Batman film. Dark Knight
and then this.
And it's not, I mean,
it's real close. Yeah.
We're not
a hair.
And the best is yet to come, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
Where would you put it in rankings of like 1, 2, 3?
Pretty close. I would say it's probably about the same. Yeah. It's definitely top 3.
Top 3.
I mean, I don't even know. It could be one. It could be my favorite. I don't know, but I think for me, nostalgia comes into it, because like that's why
I know
a lot of your generation loves like Keaton. Because of nostalgia.
Right,
but thankfully, I grew up in a time where nostalgia was also matched with greatness. With Christopher Nolan.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
I'm very blessed. I understand that. I'm privileged.
I'm privileged.
I'm gonna own that. I'm owning that. But
there's nothing wrong with that. That's okay.
No, I mean it's an amazing movie. Not only with the detective thing that I've been wishing and hoping for, and
That's why it puts it over Dark Knight for me.
Yeah,
that's why. Because I would say villain wise, I like Heath Ledger better than the Riddler. They're real close, but I like Heath Ledger's performance better. But I would say that the overall, this is my favorite depiction of Batman in live action, which is saying something, because Keaton has always been like my top dog. Again, that's nostalgia there.
Yeah.
But he overtakes it. I never thought the glitter bat would overtake it.
And that's what I'm going to end with, is that throughout the whole entire movie, not only was the whole entire movie good, but the part that, like, 2 things. One thing that really got me was 2 things. There's 3, but 2. But the 2 things is
math is hard.
That math is hard. That I went through that whole entire movie, and besides seeing the Bruce Wayne sections of the movie, I completely forgot that it was Robert Pattinson.
Agreed. Yeah,
I forgot it was a glitter little guy.
Yeah.
That also played in the Lighthouse and The Last King and all these other things.
Yeah,
I forgot that it was that dude that made the dumbest comments any pre-Batman actor could ever say before the movie came out. I didn't know he was a detective before this. I didn't know this. I didn't know that. But you know what? If he could play that well of a Batman, and now he's invested. Now he's vested. Come on, it can only get better than here. Yeah. The other thing that I loved was the detective section, but besides that was that they showed the constant battle that Batman has, which we've talked about here, of being Batman and Bruce Wayne. But it's before he becomes that playboy millionaire, where because that's almost like 3 things. He's the Batman, he's a playboy millionaire, and he's a dude that's just struggling with his past.
Yeah.
And they played the dude that's struggling with his past hard in this movie. And then they built upon that with his family, with Martha, his mom, and with his dad going to Falcone.
Secrets
and that was part of like a lot of the comics that like, it's kind of like a 50-50 storyline that like they sometimes run with that and they sometimes don't, with like his dad becoming more of a political figure than just a doctor. Right. Like they mentioned Hush and stuff like that. I was like, like
please.
What?
Yeah.
Anyway, we're not even going to dive into that because that's a whole nother great comic.
He wrote Hush across his father's campaign stuff.
So it's just like
super cool.
They're just alluding to so many great comic runs, and they're just. If this is the beginning, I cannot wait. Yes. That was the part that got me the most excited. Was not only was it a great movie, but if this is the beginning of something new, I can't wait for what's coming next.
Yeah.
Can I say, boys, that every Batman movie we did, we have been 100% united as Legion. Every single one we've done either correction, perfection, or is what it is. We've all agreed on every movie.
Well, that's because
it's pretty cool.
Batman has the best track record. I gotta tell you,
movie-wise, of like how many are good, how many aren't. I would agree.
Best track record,
percentage-wise,
real good,
percentage-wise,
real good,
and quantity. Like I mean,
Spider-Man's getting close with the new trilogy that just came out. Like it's getting close.
I'm not disagreeing, but Batman, but it's also. And you're exactly right. Spider-Man, we've now gotten to see multiple iterations of him.
Right.
Different iterations. We've already had that with Batman. You get the camp, you've got the ridiculousness, and then you've got the seriousness with Nolan and the action, and now you've got the grit and grind detective and just
the grit and grind Gotham.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
It was good.
Dude, good. Man, guys, thank you so much for going through this journey with us. Thank you for listening to all of our Batman episodes.
You did it again.
If you haven't listened to them,
again, I'm here.
Go back into the description and click on those other videos.
Fist bump.
You want to watch Logan talk to his Batman toys more?
I hear you, bro.
Subscribe to our channel, man. Subscribe to our channel. It'll be great. We will see you guys on the next episode of the Legion of Comic Correction.
Oh, yeah. Greatest superhero of all time. Oh? All right, see you later, dude.